Zena the Glamper Camper, and we just want to say Happy Easter. Today is a day to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Me and Zena already went, or not Zena. I went to church yesterday and I went to church today. I just love at CCV we have a sunrise service, and it's like super early in the morning, 6:30, and it's just a place where God makes changes. Today was really cool. I actually helped baptize one of our family friends, which was super fun. This is WRWD 623 signing off. I want to turn that off so you guys don't accidentally hear somebody talking. But right now we're actually going to start prepping our Easter dinner. So, Mr. Cameraman and his mom are obviously going to eat with us. So, we've got a lot to do, me and Zena, in the kitchen. So the first thing we're going to start with is, actually, I feel kind of weird, crazy, but if you watched my, actually, I don't even know if it's posted yet, but I had a Total Wine and More haul and shopping experience. So I got this cotton candy wine. It's cotton candy sparkling. So we are going to cook this down into like a syrup and make a little fruit salad out of it with strawberries and grapes. Have no idea how it's going to turn out, but I don't know how to open this, I guess. Maybe untwist. Oh. Zena, how do I open this? Is it gonna explode? Okie dokie. That was crazy. Smells really, really good. I don't drink, like I've said in past videos. I just like to cook with the alcohol. I think that it is fun. So, I might save some of it just in case Kathy wants to drink some of it tonight. Or I can never decide. I mean, I have so many. I have 3 bottles of wine, 1 bottle of rum, 1 bottle of spirits, or 4 bottles of wine, bottle of vodka. And since I only cook with it, they're like just going to sit there for all of eternity. So, I might as well just start cooking the entire thing. So that's what I'm going to do. All of you who drink wine are probably looking at me like I am totally, totally crazy. But we are just going to dump in this entire bottle of Earl Stevens sparkling cotton candy wine. Okay, now I just want that to, going to cook it on like a medium heat. Hey Google, set a timer for 20 minutes.
Sure, 20 minutes. Now.
So we'll see where that ends up. I mean, who knows? Like I said, it smells crazy, crazy, crazy good. So I've got that, and this is a, I think it's just like a normal sized bottle, so 750 milliliters. So now that I have that starting to simmer away, I need to prep the chicken. We are going to be smoking some chicken today. So, our favorite seasoning right now, well, actually our favorite seasoning is going to be going on the potatoes. It's this Texas Roadhouse rattlesnake bite seasoning. Super crazy amazing. But for chicken, our favorite seasoning is this Weber roasted garlic and herb seasoning mixed with ranch dressing powder. And then when I first tried this, it was at Kathy's house, and I added some lemon pepper, which was killer. But I'm kind of a weirdo with ingredients, and a lot of lemon pepper seasonings just have some funky things in them. So I prefer just pepper. And then I have, this is actually lemon zest, but just ground up into a fine powder. Good girl. How was your Easter? How was your Easter? How was your Easter? Now, Zena, actually, the year that COVID was like super terrible, we went to church on Christmas, and Zena actually came to church with us because it was outside. We sat all the way in the back, and I was literally this close to bringing her to Easter service this morning, but I decided not to, which I'm glad I didn't, because I don't think that, I mean, God loves everybody, but I don't think that the church would want Zena inside of the baptistry. But I almost brought her, and there was like 4 other dogs there, so next year she's coming. Okay. Ooh, the chicken is gooey. And I have a feeling that that is some thick breasts, because they did come out of the meat counter. Zena, should we cut them in half? Would your guys' dog do this? Or would they be like freaking out trying to get to the food? Jeez, they gave us like super liquidy. I feel like I'm gonna have chicken juice on everything by the end of this. Okay, we're gonna move this. This is the pan we're gonna smoke them in. Beautiful Pioneer Woman dish from Walmart I got for Christmas a couple years ago. We've got 3 big chicken breasts here. This one is not very big, but the other 2 are. And I am not the best at this, but we're gonna kind of make them thin. Oh, that was like really, really thin. Do you guys cook for Easter, or do you, I'm asking questions, like I still haven't figured out how I can respond to chats if anyone actually views this in chats, because in my old live streams people have done that, and I have no way to look at the chats. But do you guys cook on Easter, or would you prefer other people cook, or do you go out to eat? Because I have heard of, especially now that we live in Arizona, I feel like I've worked in a couple restaurants, and it seems like people like to go out to eat on holidays instead of cooking for their families, which I guess makes sense, especially if you have like a big family. Maybe you want to spend the day more celebrating than being in the kitchen, which I actually should have been in the kitchen a while ago, but Zena let me take a nap. But I did want to bring up what we talked about in church today. We had a super good message. The thing I like about CCV's Christ Church of the Valley's sunrise every year is it's a totally different message than what you get like in a normal weekend at church, and it's the campus pastor. So I'm someone who really likes to hear many different voices, many different opinions. So I don't like listening to the same person or the same people over and over and over again. So I really like that they give the ability to the campus pastors to kind of run their own little service. I really like that. And today, they talked about something that I had never heard, or I might have, but I didn't pay attention at an Easter service before. We talked about Barabbass, which he is actually a man who was in prison and he was set free because the people of that time would rather have Jesus crucified than have this guy in prison. So it was basically his life was traded by these people for Jesus' life. Now the craziest part about this, and I had never heard of this person before until they were talking about him at church, and the craziest thing is that the Bible doesn't tell you what happens to him. The Bible, it just kind of stops at that. It doesn't tell you what he does or how he reacts to being released from prison. I don't even know if you know what he did, other than it was bad enough that he was in prison. So today, we kind of talked about all of the theoreticals, like what could have happened to him, what might have happened to him, which I think was a really good discussion, because everything that he could have done, I mean, we as Christians and as followers of Jesus, I mean, it was really a theoretical for us also. Because when you get baptized, it's like dying to yourself and you're starting a brand new life following Jesus Christ. So it's basically like your past is behind you and it's all new from now on. And I kind of think about that as Barabbass' story, because all of a sudden Jesus died, the people decided to crucify Jesus, and then this Barabbass guy got a whole new life, and he didn't ask for it. He did not ask for it at all, and Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, gave it to him. And that just kind of gets me thinking, because I mean, it's not just for Barabbass, it's for everyone, all of us. He died for us, and there's nothing that we can do or say or act or work up to. I mean, what's done is done. He did it for us. So, I mean, I just think that that is a really good conversation to have overall, I mean, with anybody. So right now, I am just going to do equal parts of this Weber roasted garlic and herb seasoning. I think last time for 3 breasts I did like 5 tablespoons. Now normally when we do this seasoning at Kathy's house, all of it like sticks to the grill, and it's actually pretty hard to get it to stick to the chicken. So if I smoke it in a baking dish with some chicken broth, I'm hoping that the seasoning will stay on the chicken a little bit better. So I did 5 tablespoons of ranch dressing powder and 5 tablespoons of that garlic herb seasoning, which, by the way, you can get this one at Sam's Club. And if you're like us and have a Sam's Club in Costco, it's cheaper per ounce to get ranch powder at Sam's Club. BT dubs. The Costco one bottle is bigger, but if you break it down to per ounce, you are not getting a better deal. Now, into this, I'm going to do a tablespoon of black pepper, if I could get a level tablespoon. And then we're going to do a tablespoon of this lemon peel powder. I got this stuff on Amazon. It's from Spices Villages, or Spices Village. But so, in this message, it was talked about what Barabbass could have done after he was saved by Jesus. So, one of the options that we thought about, or that we talked about, was maybe he just went back to normal. And I guess some people might do that after they get baptized. They decide what they want to change, how they want to follow Jesus, and then after they get baptized or get saved, they don't actually make any changes. Then we talked about maybe he was a little bit into it, but he really kind of fell back and forth between the bad and the good in his life. And then he also could have just totally accepted the fact that for no reason, for no work of his own, he was saved and forgiven of what he had done. And really, that's the best of the outcomes. I hope that happened to Barabbass. And today, I really decided that I was going to start living that way. I mean, some people think that before you come to Jesus, you have to have it all together. And that is absolutely not the case. Because Jesus, I haven't read the whole Bible yet, but from what I've read so far and from what I've been told, he did not hang out with people who had it all together. He hung out with sinners, tax collectors. One of them, a couple of the ladies, a couple times at church, they've talked about, in that time, they would be considered like a prostitute. He was hanging out with people like that. Jesus does not care where you came from or what you've done. He cares if you want to go all in and be saved and live your life trying to live as good of a life as him. I feel like that's I feel like I'm not very good with words, but that wine smells so good. You guys would not even believe how good that smells. I'll be interested to see how much it reduces. So I've got the seasoning here. And we are going to put it all over this chicken. Do you want some chicken? Do you want chicken for dinner tonight? Xena loves smoked chicken. If you guys try this seasoning mix, you will not believe how good it is. I am not one that's super into pre-made spices. I actually recently just got back into a couple of them, like this Weber seasoning and that Texas Roadhouse seasoning I showed you. But Mr. Cameraman's mom, she's not a big spice mixer, like getting a whole bunch of different herbs and spices and mixing them together. So she likes to get the pre-made ones, and I tried this combination at her house. It is so good. So I'm just gonna keep smushing these around until it seems like all of the chicken is coated But if you haven't watched or attended an Easter service this Easter, I definitely recommend. I don't know if it's up right now, but CCV does have online services. And this is, I think this is the reason it sticks to the grill. This seasoning makes a nice, thick, flavorful paste. And for some reason, that texture just really sticks onto a gas grill. But I'm hoping, since it's inside of this baking dish, that it won't all come off of the chicken. So now my other tongs are dirty, so I'm going to keep these ones. And now, to keep these moist while they're on the smoker for a few hours, I want to add some broth. I have a whole bunch of half-used broth cartons that I need to use up. This one is frozen. It's not expired, but it's frozen. It's pretty old though, so. Okay, so I've got some low sodium or unsalted chicken broth and some low sodium beef broth. Hey Google, is May after April?
On the website learnamericanenglishonline.com, they say the fifth month of the year is May. May comes after April. It comes before June. Sorry, something went wrong. Try again in 2 seconds.
So, just in case I want to do this again and get it exactly the same, we've got 3/4 of a cup of unsalted chicken broth. Hey Google, stop the timer.
Alright, consider it canceled.
And this has not reduced a whole bunch. So, hey Google, set a timer for 20 minutes.
Alright, 20 minutes. Starting now.
Now, keep in mind, when you're like me and you come into the kitchen and totally make a bunch of stuff up as you go, you want to do it really early in the day. I mean, you don't want to be making this stuff up right an hour before Easter dinner. I mean, that could possibly be a disaster, right? Then I just did 3/4 of a cup of organic low-sodium beef broth. So now they are almost totally covered in liquid, so that will keep them nice and moist. I recently discovered smoking meats like totally covered in liquid, and I really like the end product. Now, if anything is sticking like up out of it, it will get kind of like a nice toasty little texture on top too. So now what we're going to do is get the smoker ready. We are going to be using the Costco blend of pellets, so we will take you right over here. Can you see it? Oh, you can! How exciting is that? I'm almost out of these pellets, so I will have to get some more soon. Hey Google, turn on the extension cord.
Okay, turning on the extension cord.
If anyone is watching this and has Google, your guys' Googles are going to be freaking out this whole time. So what I'm going to do is load up the hopper. Now I want these to go low and slow, so I'm going to turn it on 180. And then that's just like ashes and stuff. I do need to clean this out eventually. But before I put the chicken on and close the lid, I'm going to make sure that white smoke is exiting the Traeger. I cannot believe how good this wine smells. Oh my gosh, go out and get yourself some Earl Stevens sparkling cotton candy wine just for the sole purpose of cooking it down in your house. Oh my gosh, it smells so crazy good. I saw that I did have one viewer a little bit ago. Thank you very much for checking us out. You didn't stay long, but that's okay. So the way that the Traeger works is it takes pellets from right here, and down here there's a twisty bit, pulls the pellets into a little area in the middle where there's one little tiny rod that gets hot. It ignites the pellets, and then the smoke and the flames are all like contained in the bottom, like under here. Okay, now there is that white smoke coming out, so now we are going to put on our meat. This is what it looks like, and it's about 2 o'clock when we're putting this on. Now we're just going to let that smoke. We'll probably be eating around... Kathy and Mr. Cameron are at the pool, so it'll probably be pretty late, probably like 6 o'clock when we're eating. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's like 4 hours to smoke. What I've learned so far with my Traeger is a lot of people, a lot of recipes say that you need to smoke your protein for a crazy long time in the recipe. But really, I mean, whatever you're smoking is actually done cooking before then, normally, in my case. So it really just depends on how much smoke flavor you want. The other thing is, if you smoke, especially thin chicken breasts that long, they will be dry and super tough. So that's why I like to smoke in liquid. So today it's the 3/4 of a cup of low sodium beef broth and the 3/4 of a cup of unsalted chicken broth. There are flies in here now that I had that door open for a little bit. So this is still reducing away. It really hasn't reduced at all, except has really made the kitchen smell good, so I don't care how long it takes because it smells delicious. Let's kind of clean that off. Now what I'm going to do is I don't really know if it will hurt potatoes to sit in oil for a couple of hours. Might marinate them. I don't know. I'm going to try it just because I want to. So, one of my favorite snacks, I actually ate it for breakfast, is mini potatoes. These ones are Honey Gold and Ruby Sensations. Then you mix those with oil and this Texas Roadhouse Rattlesnake's seasoning. Rattlesnake Bites seasoning. So, let's get out a sheet pan. I might need a bigger one, but this recipe, I just count out the potatoes. So I do, each recipe is 10 potatoes. Okay, so there are 30 little baby potatoes. Yes, it seems like a lot. We're hungry people, we eat a lot. So that means that my usual recipe just gets times by 3. So, let's wash out our measuring spoon really fast. How are you doing and stuff? How are you doing and stuff? Are you getting hungry? Are you getting hungry? Now normally I air fry these at 400 for 20 minutes. Today I'm going to be convection baking them. So I'm going to try I might do it for 30 minutes just in case. So 30 minutes at 400. But like I said, I'm just getting them ready right now. I'm not actually going to start baking them since, like I said, it's only 2 o'clock. And I should have measured the seasoning first. This stuff is, I mean, it has to be in the top 5 best pre-made seasonings I have ever purchased. On the front it says, a spicy kick of cheddar cheese, garlic, cayenne, and bell pepper. I've never even had the rattlesnake bites at Texas Roadhouse, but supposedly this is the seasoning that they get. So, if you're ever at Sam's Club, I think it was only like $5. You should definitely grab a jar or a bottle, whatever you want to call it. So, now we're just going to get all these potatoes oily and spicy. And it's not super spicy by any means. Like, very little heat, actually, compared to how spicy some of my other recipes are. The only thing I found is it doesn't stick the best, even with the oil. So normally I would mix these up in a bowl and then drop them into my air fryer basket. And then you just like take the extra that's just in the oil and put it on top of the potatoes. But you just want to make sure that each one is coated. And then we're going to take that flavor and just stick it right back on top of those potatoes. And in the air fryer, the seasoning that you put on the top gets like black and crispy. It is so killer. I hope that everybody has a great Easter this year. Other question. Do all of you, if anyone watches, care about spending time with family on holidays like this? Like, really, Easter is about celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ. I'm not really sure if the Bible, maybe certain religions or certain religious leaders, but I'm not sure if the Bible gives any tips on how to celebrate this. Not sure that it does or if it does. So, do you guys think that you should have to spend time with family to celebrate? Or do you think you should just be able to do whatever you want? I mean, that's kind of what I think. If you don't have to spend time with, if you don't want to spend time with your family, I don't think you should have to. After all, we have earthly families, earthly parents. Our true Father is up in heaven waiting for us. Don't those potatoes look delicious? Be careful though. I'm sure that this mixture could stain, turns like bright orange once you add the oil to the mix. So now we are just going to set these delectable little darlings off to the side, and we will be baking those about 30 minutes before it's time to eat. So we're going to clean this off again. Our wine is starting to actually reduce now. I have a feeling I might need to add another 20 minutes. Hey Google, how much time is left on the timer?
T-minus 5 minutes.
Hey Google, add 20 minutes to the timer.
Got it. 20 minutes added to your 20-minute timer.
And now, bless her heart, Kathy is the one that went shopping today, and they did not have unsweetened cashew milk. That is the star of my homemade Alfredo sauce. I had some, but it's actually expired by quite a while, so we were not about to use that. So, she got an alternative, which is probably right in front of my face, but I can't seem to see it. Oh, it's right here. So she had to get extra creamy oat milk, which oat milk does have a flavor. That might be an unfavorable opinion, but out of all of the milks I've cooked with, oat milk does change the flavor of recipes. So I'm going to kind of switch up my Alfredo sauce maybe a teensy bit, but I want to make it now and then reheat it later just in case it's like totally weird and I don't want to serve it. So, I gotta get my laptop to get the recipe. But first, before I do that, I want to go to Italian, my recipe for Italian-ish seasoning. So I did have 2 items that I didn't have for the spice mix from Alfredo. I made this up yesterday. I call it Italian-ish seasoning. So I didn't have basil or onion powder. So let's see how much I need to add to make at least the seasoning the same so far. How much basil do I need? Zena, how much basil? 1 teaspoon. I don't know. Oh, they're right there. One teaspoon of basil. And onion powder. How much onion powder do I need? 3/8 of a teaspoon. So this delicious Italianish seasoning has rubbed sage, basil, marjoram, oregano, ground thyme, black pepper, pink peppercorns, ground jalapeno pepper, New Mexican green chili, Aleppo pepper, tarragon, onion powder, smoked paprika, and charnuchka seeds. Zena is literally falling asleep hearing me list all of those off. And since we're changing it up, and since it's Easter, which is a crazy important occasion in the idea of Christianity, we want to switch it up. I just want to kind of add something funky. Sometimes, like I said, I'd like to just come into the kitchen and make stuff up, change stuff up. So, I've got a spice drawer here that is just full of a whole bunch of different crazy spices. And I just want to find something new to add to this Alfredo. So it's going to be, I'm thinking about doing more Romano cheese instead of half Romano and half Parmesan. So I want to add something like Italian-y, I think. That flavor is delicate of that. I don't need something delicate. I need something intense. Jalapeno, star anise. Ooh, porcini mushroom powder. This one is like almost totally gone, but I have this one right here. So let's add some porcini mushroom powder and some ground rosemary. I need to combine all of the ones that I have multiples of. And then maybe some parsley flakes too. Like I said, I just feel like switching it up. I mean, it's Easter. We can add whatever we want, and it's my kitchen, right? So now rosemary is pretty intense. So I just added a teaspoon of parsley flakes, a teaspoon of porcini mushroom powder, and we're gonna do 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground rosemary. Just to give it, like I said, a little bit of a funkier, different flavor, since we're already doing a different milk and possibly a different cheese situation. Thanks, I just had another viewer for a little bit. Again, you didn't stay long, but that's okay. Me and Zena are just hanging out. So now, we are going to go to my cashew Alfredo sauce. So, this is the other question. Do I want to be crazy and do it with Brazil nuts instead of cashews? Do I? Do I want to? Do I want to? Do I want to? So we have Brazil nuts and raw cashews. Or I guess the Brazil nuts are raw too, but Brazil nuts just have the like smoothest, butteriest texture. I mean, if you've never had a Brazil nut, my grandma used to have them like all the time. I mean, they're just so buttery and smooth and perfect. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do Brazil nuts. $225 grams of raw Brazil nuts into the Vitamix. Now we're just going to add a touch of butter. I use unsalted butter 99% of the time, and that's what this is today. That is 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And even though the chicken never does anything this early, I always like to look at it. It smells so good. Inside, I'm getting this super sweet wine smell. Outside, I'm getting that like robust, delicious, ranchy chicken situation. Woo! Getting me going. So I've got the Brazil nuts and the butter. Now 1 2/3 cup plus 1 tablespoon of low sodium chicken broth. That sounds precise. And that's because when this is just my normal cashew chicken Alfredo, it is very precise. I don't know about you guys if you live in Arizona, but it is just starting to get warm again. And holy cow, I am like thirsty 24/7. 24/7. Wine is still reducing nicely. That was 1 2/3 cup. Now I'm going to do the 1 tablespoon. Trust me, when you're making a sauce out of something that's not really sauceable, like nuts, a little extra liquid or a certain amount of liquid can definitely change like the entire sauce. The texture, the silkiness. Now we are going to do 1 cup and 1 tablespoon of the Chobani extra creamy oat milk. Now oat milk has, I don't know if you've ever, I used to drink dairy and we would have cereal and I would drink the milk after the bowl of cereal. Chobani oat milk, or actually all oat milk, literally tastes like cereal milk. This one also gets a 1 tablespoon, which if you think about it, 1 tablespoon of 2 liquids is 1/8 of a cup. So in the scheme of things, that's actually quite a bit of liquid when it comes to making a sauce. I just want to taste, I haven't had this in a while, I just want to taste like a teensy bit. Oh yeah, that's good. Tastes like a bowl of Cheerios, and this was the milk left over. So tasty. I really hope it goes with the flavor combinations I'm doing here. Now, in my normal Alfredo, I have 4 teaspoons of minced garlic. Just because I feel like it. We're going to turn that into 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. If it's not garlicky enough, I can always add more after the initial blend. Now, a key factor in making a sauce like this, such as Alfredo, that doesn't have a ton of dairy in it, tastes really cheesy and delicious, is nutritional yeast, or nooch in the vegan community. So, my normal Alfredo has 2 tablespoons and 2.5 teaspoons, which, like I said, sounds very specific, but the original recipe was very specific. I spent years perfecting this cashew Alfredo, so now it's fun every once in a while to just come in and totally disrupt what I had created. We're going to do 3 tablespoons, so 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. just in case those Brazil nuts have kind of a woodier, almost like dirtier flavor than a raw cashew, which has very little flavor. A raw cashew is more about the texture. Now we're gonna get a similar texture with the raw Brazil nuts, but the Brazil nuts also add more of an earthy, dirty taste. So somebody's honking. So I added some more nutritional yeast to counteract that a little bit. Now, normally I would put Romano cheese and Parmesan cheese, 7 ounces in total, but just so I can use this up, because since groceries are so expensive lately, I don't make this recipe very often anymore. So I am just going to do 8 ounces. Oh, that is such a bummer. I just realized that she didn't even get Romano. She got Parmesan. Which this is going to taste exactly like the Parmesan in the green bottle. Don't come at me. It does. It's the truth. Okay, so that's okay. I might as well use it since she bought it. It was very nice of her to buy everything for this meal. Thank you very much, Kathy. So we are going to slice this open, and we are going to use this whole 8-ounce wedge or block, whatever you want to call it, of Parmesan. I guess this is aged Parmesan, so it does have a little bit of a different flavor, but not much from my experience. We're going to stick that in there. Now, as of my older recipe, that is everything. I just blend this up on hot soup with my Vitamix once, and then I add the seasoning blend and just give it a quick little pulsey pulse. The wine is smelling and looking great. It has reduced like a ton. Hey Google, how much time is left on the timer?
You've got 5 minutes and 47 seconds left.
After this 5 minutes, I think I'm going to be done reducing this. So, I'm going to put this right over here. Get this blended up, see what it tastes like. Vitamix E520 from Costco. Check out my review video. Hot soup. Okay, so like I said, I do whatever I want. So in here, I added another teaspoon of charnuchka seeds, a teaspoon of grains of paradise. Now I'm adding a quarter of a teaspoon of celery seed. I really want to, now that I've started this, I want to play off of the earthiness that is coming from the oh my gosh, I forgot what they're called, the Brazil nuts. So I really want to play into that kind of like deep, earthy, dirty, delicious, buttery smooth. Eighth of a teaspoon of caraway seeds. Eighth of a teaspoon of cumin. I'm taking my Alfredo sauce somewhere it has never been before, I assure you. Eighth of a teaspoon of dill seed. And then I want to do black sesame seeds, which I have somewhere. I like it when you do, like, when it's in a white sauce to have the chunks of the black spices or red spices. I just think that that creates a really beautiful, beautiful looking sauce. So now sesame seeds, don't add tons of crazy flavor. Half a tablespoon of sesame. I think that that earthy sesame will kind of go, again, it will kind of play into that really earthy flavor. So, I think that that is everything I want to add at the moment. First, let's give this a taste. When you're making stuff up, taste as you go. Oh, holy goodness. This stuff smells so good. It's not quite as thick as my original cashew Alfredo gets. Zena. The earthiness really comes through from that Brazil nut. It's not as totally smooth as it is when I do it with cashew milk and raw cashews. It's not super cheesy either. I mean, it tastes really good though. Let's put in our spice mix and then see what it tastes like. So, with stuff like this, when you're doing Vitamix, if you put in the seasoning right away and you blend it on hot soup, it will be like, woo! Like punch you in the face flavor. Because it literally will break down all of those spices into totally like liquefiedness. So when you add spices, just turn it to like maybe 5 and just pulse them through. And it will spin fast enough that it will like break up those seeds. We'll turn it up to 10 for a couple seconds. That was long enough to break up all of those seeds. I don't know. It's, again, not a popular opinion. Most of mine are not. But I just think the color that like a creamy white sauce gets when you add a whole bunch of colored spices and black seeds and seasonings. I think those flecks are beautiful. Boom diggity! That sauce, not perfect yet, but that is so good. So good. It's not quite as thick as I'd like. I think what I'm going to do is add some Parmesan cheese. Add a little bit more. Because I don't think I have, I have Havarti, but Mr. Cameraman doesn't like Havarti. Ooh, what I do have is frozen spicy Italian oregano leaves, which I already added in the original recipe for my Alfredo sauce. It has oregano in it, which usually I would just use like normal dried oregano, but I used dried spicy Italian. This is just frozen like spicy Italian leaves that were never dried. So I'm sure they would be potent. So let's put some of this and some more parm. Just to make it, like I said, it's not as thick as my usual cashew Alfredo, but the flavor is like almost perfection. Almost. Again, this is a reason you do this stuff early. So when you want to change stuff or you don't like it anymore, you can restart or add as much as you want, take as much time as you want. Okay, so I've got 2.5 ounces more of Parmesan cheese. Now, since it's fresh leaves that are just frozen, normally I measure out in grams fresh herbs. And this is going to add a huge punch. I mean, like giant punch. Oregano is potent. Okay, so then we have 5 grams of fresh oregano leaves. These were frozen fresh. So yes, I can still call them fresh. But I am going to put them back in the freezer right away so that they... I actually totally forgot about these until just now. I need to use them up. Okay, we're going to give this another little spinny spin. I can already tell that that did thicken it up a little bit. Let's see if the flavor is perfection yet. I think that's perfect. I think this might be better than my original cashew Alfredo. Like I said, the Brazil nuts are just like earthy, buttery perfection. I mean, do you want to try some? You don't want it? She hates to eat on camera. And she knows she's on camera. That is freaking delicious. God, thank you so much for the ability to make literally whatever food I want, for the ability and the skills to be able to turn nuts and a whole bunch of random spices into a delicious sauce. I am so grateful for the abilities that you have gifted me with. Okay, so if you have a Vitamix, don't ever put the entire thing in the refrigerator. Ever. Dump what you want in the fridge out. Clean the Vitamix right away. Do not put your Vitamix in the refrigerator. But see, I don't know, it's an unpopular opinion, I know. But that color and texture with all those flecks in it, to me, is just gorge. Especially with that fresh frozen oregano that I added. Those added some, like the seasonings and then in the seeds, those have a little bit more of a texture to them. But the freshly frozen oregano I added, that adds another texture of like a little soft bite. Like not hard by any means, but it just adds a little bit of fun texture on the tongue and in your mouth when you're eating it. I like things to be pretty smooth, but normally not 100% totally smooth. Like I said, it's still not quite as thick as my original cashew Alfredo, which I guess maybe raw cashews just have different, I mean, obviously they had to have different, like, things inside of them that occur naturally, or else they would taste the same. But they must just be built a little bit different than a raw Brazil nut. I have changed my original recipe so many times for different occasions just because I want to feel crazy. I've made sauces similar to this with Marcona almonds, normal almonds, pistachios. Always clean your Vitamix immediately. I know it cleans itself, but trust me, the longer you wait, you will definitely need to be scrubbing the inside of it yourself, and it gets harder and more stuck on the longer you wait. I just tasted that wine situation. Holy guacamole. That tastes amazing. So, what we will start next, since I've got the wine right here and it is almost cool, I'm just going to put it in the refrigerator just to let it totally cool a little bit faster. And then I'm going to be somehow, I don't know if it will incorporate very well, it's going to be trial and error. We are going to be hopefully combining that with a block of cream cheese and mixing it into strawberries and green grapes. So good. I was supposed to go to the pool today, but I turned it down so that I could have as much time possible making stuff up in the kitchen. So we've got our cutting board here. I am going to go ahead and use the entire pound of strawberries. So let's get a big bowl. Xena loves strawberries. I know I've already asked it, but I'm begging the question. I have not seen very many dogs that would sit there while you're cooking, not try to eat everything. Get a trash bowl. I'm just going to take the very tip off with the green part. And then just do little pieces of strawberry. Strawberries and green grapes are one of Mr. Cameraman's favorites. I wanted to do blueberries and grapes, but then I thought to myself, and I'm like, you know what blueberries would look like in a fruit salad on Easter? They would look like bunny poop, would they not? Maybe that could be funny though, a bunny poop fruit salad. Actually, that would be kind of hilarious, but I know if I called it that at the table, then he would refuse to eat it. So, the bigger ones, I'll cut a little bit smaller just so they're all roughly the same size. This house smells so good right now. Xena just got a bath yesterday, or maybe it was today. The days run together sometimes. Xena just got a bath. The chicken is smoking up beautifully in that beef broth and chicken broth. The wine, cotton candy wine, has perfumed literally the entire house. And now that crazy amazing sauce I just made, and now these fresh strawberries smell so fragrant. YouTube needs to invent smell-o-vision. On most holidays, religious holidays, Christmas, Easter, I like to celebrate God through food. And I like to make food for people around me. And obviously I like to go to church. This was the first year we decided not to go to the sunrise service. And for whatever reason, God just, I don't know. I did not connect at all with the service last night. Didn't like it, didn't connect with it, couldn't get into it. I felt almost like my Easter service was like ruined just because mentally I was not into it. And it was the first year since we've lived in Arizona that we haven't gone to the sunrise service. So I was just kind of grumpy sitting there eating dinner after church with one of our friends in our family. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to come back tomorrow. I did not like this. I'm coming back tomorrow morning and I'm going to go to the sunrise service. And also, Mr. Cameraman was doing some evangelism on his own. He actually took one of his friends to another CCV campus and they enjoyed the Easter service today. But so, last night, after I announced that, our friend Bo, he decided, you know what, I want to come experience that too. And then he decided to get baptized this morning. So that was super, super exciting. It just kind of told me, God has a reason for everything. And I just feel like he really wanted me to not like service last night so that I would say, I'm going to service this morning. And then Bo would say, oh, well, I'd like to join you to experience it. And then he would decide to get baptized. I mean, God works in mysterious ways, but I mean, getting baptized just changed my life. So when I heard that Bo wanted to get baptized this morning, I was so excited for him. So excited for him. But definitely, I think some people, and if you watch the normal weekend service for this week, they do talk about how just because you get baptized doesn't mean that your life is all cheerful rainbows afterward. It's still hard, but I still struggle with things even after I've gotten baptized at CCV. I was baptized as a baby also, but I had no idea what was going on. One interesting thing is that we learned is that nowhere in the Bible is an infant baptized. That was totally created by humans and religion. It was not in the Bible. So, not that it's a bad thing to get your child baptized, but really they have no idea what's going on. So, as an adult, quite a few years ago now, when we first moved to Arizona, me and Mr. Cameraman decided to get baptized. And now we are trying to bring other people to Jesus Christ. Like I said, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. I still struggle with things every day. But I know that I can get through everything when I have Jesus on my side. They had a really good, actually three, if I remember right, three really good testimonies in last night's service about getting baptized and how it just changed their lives. So we've got 1 pound of strawberries. They're kind of sour. I might want to add some sugar. I'll add some sugar to the cream cheese mixture, I think. Now what I want to do is do our grapes, but I do want to know how many I'm cutting, so I'm going to wash them real fast. I don't believe in not measuring if you ever want to repeat the recipe. It's one of my biggest pet peeves ever, watching Food Network or the cooking channel or people on YouTube, and they're like, oh, I don't measure because I know it in my eyes. And all the time you see people sprinkling and they're like, oh, 1/4 of a teaspoon of basil. And it's like, you literally, I mean, I have been in the kitchen, you just sprinkled like 1/2 tablespoon to 3/4 of a tablespoon of basil. I mean, I feel like people say that to seem like really cool, which maybe you are cool, but I mean, there's no point in not measuring. Just for fun, just because they look like grapes, I want to leave the grapes whole. I mean, just because they're like little eggs. Another question, why does an Easter bunny pass out eggs in which an Easter bunny does not lay on Easter? Our CCB actually did a series, or they talked about Christmas. I can't remember how many years ago it was, but they talked about how everything to do with Christmas, from trees to candy canes, could all actually be traced back to the Bible. So I just, I would be really interested to know if the whole idea of Easter bunny and eggs has any biblical or religious kind of connotation or backstory. The only thing is, I very briefly read it. I read that like painting eggs was some sort of like honor or something, like in certain cultures you shouldn't eat eggs or something around Easter. So they said like painting eggs was in honor of the eggs or something. But that, I mean, I didn't know if it was legit, so I kind of stopped reading. But that has been the only thing I've been able to find that linked an egg and an Easter bunny to the actual holiday of Easter, biblically. Which I can't even, I mean, it was just like a cultural thing. So right now that's a pound of grapes. I want there to be more grapes than strawberries, so I think I'm going to keep going. Zena, you, according to the internet, are not supposed to have this. I'm going to do 1.5 pounds, so 1 pound, 8 ounces of grapes. Cool. And now I'm going to eat more, because they're super sweet and delicious. So now that I have the grapes and strawberries, 1 pound of grapes, or 1 pound of strawberries, 1.5 pounds of grapes. I'm going to mix up the cream cheese salad dressing. And I'm going to get my whisk attachment. I don't know if there's any point in using the whisk. I don't know if once I put this in the fridge, all of the air will kind of go out of it, but we'll see. So we've got our wine mixture, or just our reduced wine, which tastes absolutely amazing. Then we have some cream cheese here, 8 ounces. One thing that is crazy expensive is cream cheese. I want to know, Philadelphia, why is it so expensive? Have your costs really increased that much? And let's just get that whipping up. So I've got that on speed 4. Now we will add some sugar. 1/3 of a cup of granulated sugar. Then I've got some real cream of coconut. I bought this a crazy long time ago. I made really good cupcakes for my old boss. They were chocolate covered cherry cordial coconut cupcakes. That's actually why I have a half bottle of rum also. So we've got 1/4 of a cup of that. which is crazy delicious. Do you guys ever wonder what they ate during the time of Jesus' life? I mean, sometimes I just want to figure out what they would eat and make a whole bunch of recipes like that. Now we are going to stream in our reduced cotton candy wine. Now, so far, it hasn't whipped up at all, but it has combined nicely. Like, actually, better than I thought it would. I need more rubber spatula. My only one is already dirty. We're just gonna scrape down the sides. I have the flex beater attachment in my cupboard. I bought it and I've never used it. Yum. That is a tasty combo. I want to get that as smooth as it can be. And I'm going to need a bigger bowl. For someone who cooks as much as me, it's crazy that I don't have any big bowls. So this is as combined as it's going to get. Let me just taste it, make sure that it is sweet enough. I probably can't add any more granulated sugar at this time. Ooh, it got nice and thick. That is life-changing. That is so amazing. Oh my gosh, if only that bottle of wine wasn't like $20, I could make this all the time. But in order to do this properly, I am going to need my spatula. So we are going to wash the spatula. Question mark, did I use this on the raw chicken? I can't remember. Why would I do that? I think I'm going to call this Easter egg salad. Yeah, I like that. Easter egg salad, because the grapes look like Easter eggs. I really feel like I should have done blueberries, but then it would be bunny poop salad. The flavor, though, of that cooked, crazy, like super cooked down wine, like you saw how much was in. So it started with a 750 ml bottle, and I ended up with about, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 tablespoons of reduced wine. Crazy good. Very proud of this little creation. So, like I thought, it got no air absolutely at all. But I do still like using the whisk for stuff like this because it really breaks up any chunks or globs. Now, there were a couple chunks at the bottom, but once I mix it into the salad, you probably won't even notice. If you do, it will still taste good. It will just be like a chunk of cream cheese. So now we'll just give this a quick little mix. It actually looks like the perfect amount of fruit to creaminess ratio. And now we're going to do something even crazier. Hopefully my dad's not watching because he would say I'm about to ruin this recipe. But where is it? We are adding coconut. What are you doing sitting like that? What are you doing sitting like that? Are you helping me cook? Are you helping me cook, Ito? Zena is a very, very helpful sous chef, as you have learned in this video. The chicken is doing great, BT Dubs. I just checked it a little bit ago. So now, how much coconut do I want to add? We'll go to ounces. This is sweetened coconut, by the way. This is going to be a very sweet salad. Six ounces. Let's see what that looks like. The cream cheesy is turning red from the strawberries. Let's give it a taste. Get a grape. Get a strawberry. The next question is, do I want a nut? Look at how delicious that looks already. I can't believe how good that is. Literally, you need to go buy a bottle of that wine and cook it all the way down and make this. I do have this strawberry granola-y stuff that tastes good, but I'm concerned that all the granola parts would get super mushy. So the only nut I have is coconut, Brazil nuts, and cashews. I don't think Brazil nuts or cashews would do anything for this salad. Maybe a Brazil nut. Let's try this. Because these kind of look fun. Like, these are kind of a fun shape, almost like an egg. So let's get a bite with coconut, grape, strawberry, and now we're going to try it with a Brazil nut. That's one of the best fruit salads I've ever made, ever. I'm shook, Zena. I am shook. I am shaken to the core. Here. Okay, so Brazil nut time. I'm gonna leave them whole. I like the shape. I did 6 ounces of coconut. That is what 6 ounces of these Brazil nuts look like. I don't think that's a ton, but I don't want it to be like overpoweringly Brazil nut. I do think I want to add more. So 8 ounces in total of Brazil nuts. Raw Brazil nuts. Now one more taste, just because I can. She doesn't want to eat anything today. Now, we're going to try to put this in here. And it's too small, so I'm going to get a cute baking dish. So that I can really pile it up. This is cute Eastery. Mr. Cameraman, he's from the Midwest too. So he knows that salads are like, in Iowa where we're from, a salad is literally anything. You can call anything a salad. If it has a creamy sauce, if it's sweet, if it's salty, if it's savory, even Jell-O. I mean, people call solid Jell-O creation salad there. So he really doesn't like the word though. So I haven't quite decided what I'll call this. Maybe just Easter basket fruit. I really want to call it Easter egg salad though. I think I will. He'll have to suck it up. It will be so delicious, he will not even care that it's called salad. And then, I normally don't do this. I literally never do this. Like as like a pretty garnishy kind of thing. But, we're gonna take a couple pinches of shredded coconut. Oh my gosh, it looks so cute! Get a nice little pile up there in the middle. Laundry's done, Xena. Can you go fold it? She's like, are you kidding me? I don't do laundry. And then we'll just pop a couple grape eggs. And I don't have any more strawberries, but we can put a Brazil nut up there. Two more grapes. Look at how cute that is. I'm really proud of that. That is delicious! Now we are going to attempt to cover in plastic. I really need to get some reusable plastic wrap. I hate single-use plastic wrap, but sometimes there's nothing else you can do. You thirsty? No? I'm telling you, she's the smartest dog ever. She knows she's on camera. She knows I'm recording because I'm talking to myself. So she does not like to eat or drink on camera. And we will just cover this delicious, super crazy, delicious Easter egg fruit salad. So there is the hat. Oh, I lied. I've got another bottle of wine in the fridge. People probably think I'm an alcoholic. Then, one quick thing I'm going to do real fast is just toss together a quick salad. So, I've got some super, super old cinnamon sugar pasta chips here. Sorry, we gotta get rid of you. You're too old. You weren't very amazing. So we're just gonna wash out this bowl real fast. I like to get as much prepped as I possibly can before a big meal like this. You can also rewatch my old live, but I also did a live for Thanksgiving. This past Thanksgiving was our first Thanksgiving in the camper. So I cooked an entire Thanksgiving feast in and outside of our camper. So that was pretty darn tootin' fun. The other reason I like to prep meals like this, like really early in the day, like it's only 3:30 still, is then I have time to do or to rinse and put in the dishwasher a lot of the dishes. So really the goal is to have, unless it's something that's physically being used to cook or to store, I want that washed. Okay, the lid. The only thing I don't think I'm gonna prep is boiling the actual pasta for the Alfredo. I'm using this really beautiful Italian pasta that I got at Home Goods. Schiaffoni. And I think once I know that Mr. Cameraman and his mom are on their way, that's when I will probably start to boil this. But the next item I'm prepping is a very easy one. Avocado ranch chopped kit. These Taylor Farm salads are really good. This avocado ranch one, Kathy got them at Safeway, so it might have been a little bit more expensive than usual, but you can get them for pretty cheap at some places. They have big ones, big like pre-made salads or bag salads like that at Costco and Sam's Club. So now we'll just open this up. That's interesting. I don't remember it being freeze-dried corn. The corn is like crunchy. So toss that in there. Looks like we've got some sort of seasoned cheese. Colby Jack maybe. And then the dressing. I wish I had some edamame or sunflower seeds. That would go really good on this. We'll just give this a quick toss. And I have a really good idea. This is probably going to sound weird, but I have roasted garlic aioli from Subway. And I'm going to throw some in there. So I just put in 4 tablespoons of the roasted garlic aioli. And I have, that's not very much, freeze-dried corn. I've got some more right here. This brand, Augustin Farms, they have some really great freeze-dried stuff on Amazon. I don't want a lot of the powder, I just want like Okay, that's 1/3 of a cup. And then that extra aioli kind of gives a little bit more liquid for that corn to soak up. I wish I had crispy onions. That would be really good in this. Mmm. That is really, really good. I think I'm actually going to add some more corn though. Another 1/3 of a cup. Buying a salad kit like this and adding more stuff is just a great way to take kind of a hack, like buying a pre-made salad and then just turning it up a notch to kind of keep your guests guessing. They never know what's coming next. This would be really good with peas in it too, if I had cold frozen peas. Mmm. That's good. Now I'm going to pop this in the fridge. So now that's almost everything, actually. The last thing is the green beans. Green beans are Mr. Cameraman's favorite vegetable. Kathy got some pre-chopped, pre-washed ones, which is nice. I still always wash them. I don't know. I'm kind of a freak about that. And Mr. Cameraman's favorite way to enjoy green beans is actually air fried, believe it or not. So, I am just going to wash these. I don't know, I've had a lot of experiences with pre-washed green beans where they can have a little bit of like slimy stuff on them. So I always like to give them a quick, not like a super intense wash, but just a quick little rinsey rinse. And the only request for his green beans this Easter is that after they are air fried, he wants them to be coated in Parmesan. So I'm just going to set them here to drain a little bit of that water. And now I just need to figure out the seasoning that I want to put on them. And then that is the last thing I'm prepping. Like I said, I'm going to air fry them later, but obviously I can't just put them in the air fryer. I mean, I could if I seasoned them and put oil in them, but I don't know if there would be a point to that. Excuse me. These grapes are so sweet. All of a sudden I have lost motivation, if you can't tell. What seasoning should we put on the green beans? She can't have green beans. They upset her stomach, but it's literally the only food on earth she has ever had other than Sahel snacks, but that's because she ate a ton of the Sahel snacks. But green beans don't sit well with her. Which is surprising, because I've heard from other puppy parents that green beans are like a really nice homemade treat for them, for their dogs. So, I feel like I want to make up something totally new that I've never tried before with green beans. So, let's go back to our spice drawer. Maybe I should try one of these. I buy a lot of my spices from the Spice House, and I bought these like pre-seasoned mixes to review, like literally probably over a year ago now. I don't know, they might be expired, they're probably not. But they're all like really weird recipes, so I literally never tried them. So let's try one. So I have carne asada, ancho chili chicken seasoning. There should be 4, I think. Meatless chorizo burgers. Chili lime shrimps. Let's do chili lime. That sounds really good. So, we're just going to be trying out this chili lime, the Spice House seasoning. So, my air fryer basket is actually dirty, ATM. I used it this morning to make my breakfast. So we're going to season these green beans, and then we're just going to throw them in here for right now. So get our green beans over here. Then we're going to sprinkle on, this is 0.72 ounces of chili lime shrimp seasoning from the Spice House. That smells good. Just says kosher salt, spices, paprika, cane sugar, coriander, lime juice powder, corn syrup, lime juice, lime oil. Cool. And then, to go with kind of that limey flavor, I don't want to use a nutty oil, I don't think, so I'll just do olive oil. Or I don't know, pistachio and lime. That sounds kind of good, like a nutty pistachio lime situation, but I really don't have very much of it. Let's see if I at least have a tablespoon. It was meant to be 1 tablespoon of roasted pistachio oil. And then I am still gonna put a little bit of Parmesan. Even though in the air fryer the Parmesan doesn't stick crazy well, I am going to put just a little bit on the green beans while they cook. as long as you, I don't know, I mean, do whatever you want, it's your kitchen, but I don't totally recommend coating it in Parmesan before air frying it, but it's worth a shot, right? It's probably all just going to be stuck in the bottom of the air fryer when I'm done, but... Okay, so that's 2 ounces of Parmesan cheese. So now, we are just going to get in there, crunch up those big chunks of cheese. Those look really, really good. Woo! That seasoning is tasty. Zena, we have prepped everything except for the pasta. So, me and Zena have prepped the potatoes. They're sitting right behind me. They just have to go into the convection oven once we get a little bit closer to dinner time. Green beans just have to get thrown into the air fryer. Pasta has to get boiled. Chicken is smoking away. Looks crazy freaking delicious. The Easter egg salad is... I feel like it should be Easter basket salad. Because Easter egg salad should be like egg salad. But Easter basket salad should have chocolate. That salad does not have chocolate in it. And I think chocolate would go really weird with the winey flavor. Unless it was like white chocolate, which I don't have white chocolate. Ugh. I do have milk chocolate caramel. I think that would just make it too sweet though. Okay, so Easter egg salad, and then Easter egg grape salad maybe. Easter egg fruit salad. Easter egg fruit salad. That sounds good. Then the salad is already prepped, that pre-made avocado salad, and then I added the garlic aioli from Subway, and some extra freeze-dried corn, which thankfully I had because it really needs some more crunchies in there. And that's everything. So, before we end this little live stream, we did just want to remind everyone for the reason of the season. Easter is celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ. If I understand it correctly, Good Friday is the day of his crucifixion, and then 3 days later, he arose from the dead. Some ways that me and Zena like to try to stay connected to God as much as possible are Jesus Listens. This is a daily devotional. We have another daily devotional too. I haven't read any of these ones yet, but this was actually a gift for Mr. Cameraman from his grandparents. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't read a daily devotional every day. It's really hard for me. But we have these 2 different daily devotionals. 3 minutes with God. And then we have Jesus Listens. And then I just like to read the Bible. I have got this new Bible for Christmas this past year. Now I used to do more Bible reading videos on YouTube, but I mean no one watches them, which is fine. I mean, I don't care if people watch them. I just care about trying to share the Word of God with anyone I can. So recently what I've been doing is posting my Bible reading videos on our Facebook, the Cookin Camper page, and then on our YouTube channel we're doing like a poll on the community page that has a link to the Facebook video. After you watch the video, then you come back to YouTube and it's like a trivia poll about what I read in the Bible that day. But, yeah. Honestly, I don't even know which part of the Bible talks about Easter. Hey Google, what chapter of the Bible talks about Easter?
On the website lifeway.com, they say, from Luke chapter 23 verse 32 minus 24 to 12, CSB. Do you want a little more context?
So it starts in Luke.
We could
Which
keep going on like this.
is what I'm
We
named
can play a
after.
game.
Luke
Just
Mark.
ask.
Hey Google, stop. Well, celebrate Easter. Celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Know that He died for you. No matter what you've done, He died for you, and there's absolutely no way for you to earn that. There's no way for anyone to earn it because it was freely given. Nothing you can do about it. So I pray that everyone who feels lost right now can find Jesus and that they can come to the realizations that me and some of my family members have. So if you liked this video, make sure to give us a big thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit that bell so that you see the next time me and Zena upload a new video. Get out and enjoy nature and food as much as we do. Get out and enjoy what God has given us and you. And go relax with all of your families, of which you're probably already with instead of me being home alone cooking all day, while I clean up my disaster of a kitchen. Have a great one. Bye.